Have you ever felt like your hair just stopped growing? You've tried every product, oils, rice water, but nothing seems to work. For the next 30 days, we are putting one powerful herb to the test, rosemary. It's known for promoting hair growth naturally, and today I'll show you how to make both rosemary water and rosemary-infused oils step by step. By the end of this video, you understand exactly why it works, backed by science, and how it can transform your hair. I started using rosemary because my hair was thinning, especially around my edges. I tried everything, but nothing seemed to bring lasting results. Then I went back to nature. That's how I discovered rosemary. Within weeks, my scalp felt alive again, less shedding, more strength, and visible growth. That's why I decided to turn it into a 30-day challenge, and I want you to join me on this journey. So what makes rosemary so powerful? So rosemary contains a compound called cassia acid, which helps heal and stimulate hair follicles. It increases blood circulation to the scalp, feeding your roots with oxygen and nutrients. It also helps with fighting dandruff and inflammation, both causes thinning hair. Research has proven that rosemary oil works just like as effective as minoxidil, the active ingredient in Rogaine, but without the side effects. Before we grow it, let's understand why hair falls out in the first place. Hair loss can come from poor scalp circulation, hormonal imbalances, stress, harsh chemicals, products, tight hairstyles, or even nutrition deficiencies. That's why the Rosemary Challenge works. It nourishes the scalp naturally and strengthens your roots from within. Now let's make our first you need some rosemary herbs. You can either use fresh or dry. So I prefer to use dry because they don't contain any water content in it. So there are two methods on how you can make it, but I prefer to do the cold infusion. So I just add 1 cup of our hot water. You can put it on a stove and let it boil and let it simmer for 20 to 30 minutes, and then you strain it. So what I'm going to do after infusing it, I had transferred it in a mason jar. The reason for putting it in a mason jar is because it has a lid, which is actually very easy, so that no foreign product can get into our final product. So I left it for 24 hours for it to infuse. So that is before being infused. Then after 24 hours, your rosemary water will turn to brownish. So that is how it looks like, my beautiful friends. So if you are loving this video, give this video a big thumbs up. So that is how it looks like. So now get a fine strainer. You can also use a cheesecloth to strain. This is a very important step. So once you strain, my beautiful friends, what you need to know is that preserving your product is very important. That is what we do at Cassia Naturals. Okay, so if you preserve it, it can last for 6 months. However, if you don't preserve it, it can last in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 days. Then you can discard it. So preserving your products is very, very important, my beautiful friends. So at this point, I pour it back into our beaker. The reason is I added a preservative. So there are different kinds of herbs that we can I beg your pardon. There are different kinds of preservatives that we can use. You can use Lucido, Gemoplus, quite a lot. So at this point, it's ready. We are putting it in spray bottle. So comment below, my beautiful friends. This is the water I would love to hear from you. And after this, we're going to make our infused rosemary, and it smells very well. So at this point, you can actually customize it. You can add rosemary essential oil, yes, if you so wish. However, if you don't have rosemary oil, there's no need for you to add rosemary essential oil. So I'm inviting you to join our 30-day challenge to grow our hair. So that is how our final product looks like. It looks very beautiful and the color has drastically changed. So now let's come to rosemary infused oil. So all you have to do is get your handful of rosemary herbs. So in my bowl I have some rosemary. So once you get your herbs, you can choose any oil that you would want to use. So in this video I'm using avocado oil. So you can use jojoba oil, you can use grapeseed oil, you can use sweet almond oil, so any oil of your preference. So now I'm using avocado oil. Okay, so you can go with any oil that you have, my beautiful friends. You are not limited to use any other oil. Use what is available to you. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to get a glass bowl. A glass bowl is very important. Okay, so you can also combine with two oils if you so wish. So actually I added avocado oil and macadamia oil. Okay, however, you don't have to go with more than two oils. You can do with one oil or you can do with two oils. Okay, so subscribe to Cassia Naturals and don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. So now I've gotten my mason jar. So we're just going to make 100 batch of our infused rosemary oil. So a mason jar is very important because it's a steep jar that can actually hold your herbs and your oils very okay. And make sure that it is sterilized. This is a very important step so that you don't introduce any mold and bacteria in your final product. So what you need to do is just get your herbs and put them in your mason jar. So once you put them in the mason jar, make sure that you steer it. Okay, please make sure that you don't skip this step. So you get your herbs and pour it in your mason jar. This is a very simple step. Okay, this is a very simple step. So of course there are two methods on how you can make your infused rosemary oil. So you can use a water bath, but however I prefer a cold infusion. So for the cold infusion, you can let it sit for in a dark place for 2 weeks, 2 months. Okay, however for the hot water infusion, just do a double boiler and then you let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes, let it simmer, and then it's ready. You can strain it. However, my beautiful friend, at Cassia Naturals, in most cases I love doing the natural. After adding process, your oils, make sure that you give it a stir so that all the oils and the herbs are combined very well. This is a very important step, my beautiful friends. So combine it. So I'm just using some spoons here, as you can see. Yes, combine it, my beautiful friends. Make sure that and please put it in a dark corner and make sure that you shake it every day. Okay, so I actually left my rosemary infused oil for a month. However, you can do a short method, the one I explained in the first place. So it's been actually a month. Yes, so I'm just giving it a little shake. So that is how it looks like. As you can see, my beautiful friends, like it has infused very well. So this is the cold infusion. So make sure that you get a fine strainer. You can also use a cheesecloth. So either gadgets, they work very well. So the good part of an infused oil, like you don't need a preservative because there's no any water content in it. However, if you use fresh leaves, there could be some water content in it and it might be critical to add a preservative. So if you are enjoying this video, give this video a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, comment and share with a friend who loves natural DIY routine and please join this challenge. We do it together, my beautiful friends. So that is how it looks like, and it smells very nice. It's very potent, as you can see. So at this point, you can customize your oil. So I'm just adding some rosemary essential oil. So just some 3 drops because it's highly potent. However, if you don't have rosemary essential oil, please skip it. So give it a stir, make sure that it is well combined. So at this point, it's ready. Make sure that you get a dark glass bottle. This helps for the oil to be preserved for a longer time, and for the oil to be very potent. So you can actually use a funnel. However, I didn't have a funnel close to me, so I put my oil in jar because it has a spout, which is very easy, like to pour it in our bottle. So comment below, my beautiful friends. I would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like this video, give this video a big thumbs up. And if you are joining this challenge, just type in the chat section. Type in the chat section. So our oil is ready at this point. So you can actually put your stickers if you so wish. So our powerful water rosemary spray rosemary and water are ready at this point. 4 times in a week. I'm super excited, my beautiful friends. And make sure that you seal in the moisture with an oil. So of course, make sure that you massage your scalp, especially after applying your rosemary water. This oil, the oil actually locks in the moisture, and actually rosemary will actually nourishes your roots and help your hair grow thicker and soft. So here is how this challenge, 30-day challenge, works. So spray your rosemary water daily on the scalp. Massage it with oil 3 times or 4 times a week. Then take photos. Make sure that you are tracking your progress. You start to see changes, like especially like you have less shedding and hair will start growing on your edges. You see visible results. So for demonstration purposes, I'm just applying it on the edges and then massage. I spread my rosemary water and then sealing the moisture with rosemary oil. So let's do this together, my beautiful friends. So massage. So make sure that you spray your rosemary every day, so you can actually do it in the morning or before bed. Okay, so subscribe to Cassia Naturals, my beautiful friends, and give this video a big thumbs up. So now I'm just doing a simple length check. I'd actually manipulated my hair when I was when I went for a meeting, for a 1-week meeting. So I would comb my hair every day, and my hair actually has been affected, my beautiful friends. So we want to grow that hair. So thank you so much for watching. God bless you. See you in the next video.